and welcome to this short video introducing PyBIRD AI. PyBIRD AI is a simple web application which enables rapid prototyping of bird implementations. PyBIRD AI is part of the Eclipse Freebird Tools project, which is governed by the Eclipse Foundation. The Eclipse Foundation is financed by industry members who want to see open source done right, with clear licensing, describing clear usage rights and intellectual property. The financiers are IBM, Microsoft, Oracle, Goldman Sachs and many other large organisations. PyBIRD AI uses the popular Python Django framework. Python Django is used by 2 or 3 million developers. It's built on the ubiquitous standards and mature standards of Python and relational databases. It's great for rapid prototyping. We can create and update domain objects like a financial instrument, and Django will auto-generate technical artifacts like databases and web pages for you. It uses the DRY, don't repeat yourself principle. Django applications are easy to adapt with AI tools. AI is trained on much open source code, much of which, millions or billions of lines of which are Python Django. And Django provides an automatic migration of data when database structures change. So it's excellent management of evolving database structures. The PyBIRD AI application does two main things. One that builds a bird database, and then it builds a bird metadata database. The bird database includes information about specific details of financial instruments such as loans and their amounts and their currencies, etc. And the bird metadata database contains a metadata. This metadata is stored in a methodology called SM cubes, which uses concepts like cubes, variables, cube structure items, variables and domains. And it models the information, the metadata of bird. The structure of the bird database is part of that metadata. The fact that we have a cube called loan and a variable called notional amount, for example. But also we have metadata about report structures, like finite report structures. And we'll see that even the transformation rules of bird are stored as metadata. That metadata, some of you will be familiar with already, because we navigate it using the bird website. If we can find the bird website. Here we go. So from the navigator pane, when we look at things like type instrument and its allowed values, this is all the metadata of bird, and it can be exported from the metadata and exports page in the bird website. So here we see different members, and we can export them as CSV files, etc. So how do we get started using PyBIRD AI? Well, we can look on the GitHub page. All the artifacts of PyBIRD AI are stored for freely available on GitHub. And we look at what's called the wiki, which has technical information, and the getting started guide. So let us look at step one. First we get the information here. We download it into either a local editor like VS Code, or we can use something called GitHub Code Spaces, which means we don't need anything locally. We do everything in a web environment. And we'll take that approach here to get started. So let me duplicate this tab so we have it available, and we'll go to the main page. Here's the code for PyBIRD AI. We'll choose the branch that we want. It's normally develop. Here I'll do the very latest branch, it's improved UI. Do code, and then add code space. Here we see the same code, but it's in an editor called VS Code, but it's running on the web with a backend in the cloud, so nice and secure and easy. You don't need to install anything or set anything up on your own machine. If we follow the instructions, we have to run these things in the terminal. First install Django. Then we have to install two other libraries that it needs. Then we change to the bird's nest directory. It's the home directory for the bird application. And then we just run this thing called run server. And that will start the PyBIRD AI web application. We open in browser. And we need to add to this string PyBIRD AI at the end. And here's the application. The application lets us do 6 things in turn. First is create the bird database. Then we populate the bird metadata database. Then we create the transformations metadata. So this is transformations described in the SMCube's metadata framework. Then from the transformations metadata we create Python transformations that are executable. Then we insert data into the database, some bird database, some loans and some securities for example. And then we can review the report templates and we can actually run those transformations on the test data. So in a separate tutorial we'll show you the first step, how to create the bird database, but I hope this has given you a brief overview of the PyBIRD AI application. Thank you for watching.